Welcome back, everybody, for another edition of That Damn Baseball Show. Baseball is back. We've got some really good things happening, some really bad things happening. There are storylines galore, and we're going to get into some of the top elements, the top storylines, the top good, the top bad here in today's video, today's stream, depending on when you're watching this. First off, my guys, Nick and Adam, how are you on this Tuesday?
Really good, man. We're actually in the lead. Let's go. The the Toronto Blue Jays are not currently getting blown out, which is kind of like new for us. The last few days have been a little brutal, so it's really nice to see that we are doing good. So our mood is very contingent on that score line back there. If we get really depresso mode in the next 15 minutes, you'll know why.
Right on, Blue Jays. Maybe going to get that second win out of the way while we are here together recording and streaming for you. I want to remind everybody that is watching on my channel that on BALLCAP Sports, this video is brought to you by So Rare MLB, featuring officially licensed digital cards with players from across all 30 teams. You take those cards and you build your own fantasy team. Build it like a pro GM. Collect, buy, sell, trade, and compete with those cards against global opponents in tournaments, 2 tournaments a week to win some really great rewards. We're talking upgrades to your cards, tickets, VIP experiences, merch, some really great things coming from So Rare. Join, play against me, play against other members from BALLCAP Nation, play against other YouTube content creators. Wardy and Robbie and Fuzzy and others are all in this thing as well. Go head to head. The more you win, the more you advance, and the more you win. So make sure to click on the link in the description. Check it out and sign up today. Again, So Rare MLB, the big leagues of fantasy baseball. And without further ado, let's get into this. And I want to give the boys the first volley here. What do you got? Top storylines, the good, the bad. Kick us off, Nick, Adam, whichever one of you wants to go first. What do you have? What's on your radar most pressing?
I mean, I think that this is kind of like a joint one between Adam and I. Like we titled this video talking about how like the Blue Jays might not have necessarily planned for this, and that has to do with the Toronto Blue Jays pitching staff. And now we will be the first to admit, and nobody needs to remind us, it is early in the season. It is early, so 5 games in, 4, however many games we're in, we understand this really doesn't mean a lot. Things will change. Things will evolve. But if you would have told me that the Toronto Blue Jays, after 4 or 5 games of play, were neck and neck at the bottom of the league as far as ERA goes. You can't see because it's on our screen right now, but the Blue Jays are ranked 29th in pitching after getting Chris Bassitt, after acquiring some nice bullpen arms this offseason, and also, too, having Manoah and Gausman and all these guys, for another year. That's a little bit of a storyline going on right now in the early goings.
Yeah, exactly. It's early. Like, I don't really want to, say it any more times. Like, y'all know it's early. But, it's something to note. Chris Bassitt in particular, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, Jim. Chris Bassitt, I don't know if you watched the game, but, it just seems like he wasn't really a lot of command in his game. Like, he was kind of spraying the ball all over, no real logic in terms of where he's placing the pitch. Because here's the thing, you can decide where you want to place the pitch, how you want to set a batter up to strike him out or to get a weak contact. But if you're not even locating those setup pitches, you're kind of you're praying that he gets himself out, and that's exactly what didn't happen against those Cardinals. What do you think, Jim, about the Blue Jays pitching?
I don't like it. It is definitely one of those elements that falls under that bad category right now, because you had Chris Bassitt. It's too many pitches. He has too many pitches. You got to figure out. Listen, that was going to be one of the issues with the pitch clock. Is he was a slow worker. He likes to shake off the sign a lot from his catcher, and that's going to be a problem. He has to figure that out. And it's early applies to right now. But if we get 3 or 4 starts in and he's just not doing it, then that's a problem. So I think that, yes, it's early, but at the same time, I don't like it. And no Blue Jay fan can like what they're seeing there. And then Barrios going out there yesterday and just getting hit around. That is not a good sign. That's not early. The Barrios thing, that's not early. That was last year. That was the WBC. That was his first start this season. That's a problem. That's bad.
Dude, I'm straight up. I've already, me and Nick, a little side note for everyone to know. We were grocery shopping earlier, and I should have said, like, man, 3 starts in, if he continues to be bad, there is going to be a video that isn't an overreaction. It's going to be fact, because just like you said, man, this is continuous.
Yeah.
And I'm worried, and Nick said this multiple times, we could have a Patrick Corbin on our hands.
Yeah.
Sign him to a big deal in the tank.
I really hope not, man. I really hope not. So that's kind of where we're at as far as bad. Now, I have another one to throw out here, which to some people might be good. To us, it's bad. To some people, it might be good. But the Tampa Bay Rays, and I know that you threw a Tampa Bay Ray on the thumbnail for you, Jim. Obviously, they are looking absolutely electric right now. We talked about them a little bit in our previous show a few days ago. Their pitching is dominant. Shane McClanahan, Jeffrey Springs. But the difference maker to me is the fact that you got Wander Franco starting out the way that he needs to. You know, if he is their Vladimir Guerrero Jr., then everybody watch out.
8 for 18 at this point, right? He is crushing the ball. It is great that he's doing what he's doing. He's got 4 extra base hits, one of which is a home run. But it's everybody else in that lineup. As of recording, updated stats. They are playing right now. Wander Franco is out there with a 444 batting average. Randy Arozarena is 5 for 17. That's good for 294. Josh Lowe, 417. Yandy Diaz, Isaac Paredes, Jose Siri, all over 300. And also, by the way, don't forget they are pitching right now. So you've got the great hitting, but you've also got the pitching. Jeffrey Springs, Drew Rasmussen, and Shane McClanahan, no runs allowed in their starts. Zach Eflin, 1 run allowed. The Tampa Bay Rays, outside of today's start, Josh Fleming, the pitching, the starting rotation has been great. And for Rays, for baseball, that's good. For Blue Jays fans, that's not so good.
No. Hey, but I'll throw a little devil's advocate here. I mean, yes, sure. I'm never going to try and discredit the Rays. They're off to a great start. 4-0. Love it. But their competition was the Detroit Tigers for 3 games and the Washington Nationals. That was their 4th W. And Detroit Tigers are last in the MLB in OPS. Washington Nationals are 26. So while they're doing exactly what they needed to do, come out and play because they're a good team, they're also getting the benefit of the doubt and getting some really bad teams who are not good offensively. So I wanted to sprinkle that in before we think that like they are going to be the best team, because we'll get a chance to play those Tigers soon. Yeah,
no, I do hear you, man. And I mean, like, it obviously, like, they're going to be tested when they go up against other squads. But, you know, I will say this is a new season, and we're still learning about these teams. We're still learning. Who knows? Maybe the Detroit Tigers are actually going to be good this year. I don't know. It's starting out bad. Maybe they will.
Right.
But the reason that I say that is because that leads me to another point. This is one of the bads right now. A team that I think a lot of people thought was going to be phenomenal. And again, early goings, you know, don't need to comment it. I know about it, but they're starting out rough. And that's the Philadelphia Phillies, 0-4 right now. Just like not on the right page, just not doing really anything properly right now. Jim, do you have any thoughts about them so far?
Well, the Phillies, this is one of those things. The Rangers looked really good right out of the gate, right? They took care of the Philadelphia Phillies. And then, as luck would have it, they have to go to New York and play the New York Yankees. This is one of those things where you just kind of need the schedule to work itself out. The Rangers made all those improvements with their pitching. Saw some of that in that opening series. You're also out there, the Phillies, without Bryce Harper, without Rhys Hoskins. So they're not as potent of a lineup right now. Nola and Wheeler got rocked. That's another bad look. You kind of are counting on, if you're going through the rotation, you know, you're hoping that at least one of them gives you a lights out start, and things are cranking when both of them give you a really good start, which they did many times last year. Nola and Wheeler were really good last year. So the pitching needs to come around. And I think they're going to hit. It's that pitching, and specifically the starting pitching, that they need to have bounce back, because Wheeler and Nola just got messed up by the Rangers last week.
To complement what you just said there, Jim, they were the other team that was Toronto Blue Jays were battling for that top spot in the highest ERA category, 8.17 and 36 in the third innings pitch right now. So not good.
Nope. Let me give you guys let's do a good. And because we've got you here, I'm going to give you a Matt Chapman as a good, because Matt Chapman to this point in the season is 10. Now, he doesn't have a home run, but as the Blue Jays as a club have one home run. But Matt Chapman is 10 for 17. Do you know, as of this exact moment, there is only one player in all of Major League Baseball that has more hits than Matt Chapman, and his name is Luis Arraez, and Luis Arraez has 11 hits. So Matt Chapman is out here hitting 588 with 4 doubles for the Toronto Blue Jays. So Matt Chapman makes my good list, because listen, here's the deal. Here's the deal with Matt Chapman. This is a big season for him because he wants to be one of the top 5 free agents, the top 10 free agents next off season. The market's rather light. It's not as stacked as it's been the last couple of years. So Matt Chapman can go out there, have a fantastic season, put up one of his best seasons. He has all the reason, all the motivation to do so, because then he gets paid the most money he will ever get paid in his life with this upcoming free agent season. So this is his walk year. This is a year for Matt Chapman to go absolutely off. This is a good sign that he may be going down that road.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that both Adam and I were on the same page as to this is going to be a good year for Matt Chapman. Offensively speaking, he's going to pop off.
Oh, yeah, man. Like, I didn't think he'd pop off this early, but he's popping off this early, and I can't complain. The Blue Jays trying to get runs. I think he already has an RBI in this game, if I'm not mistaken, or at least he has 2. He has 2 hits in this game. So you gotta love to see. He's been all over the Blue Jays lineup too. He's been at the 7 spot, 6 spot, 5 spot. Now he's up to the 4 spot. And I think that if he continues to play like this, I mean, sorry, Dalton Varsho. The idea of a lefty being up there is real nice, but you got to put the hot bat and Matt Chapman up there.
Exactly. I agree. I've got another bad.
Let's go.
I have another bad. It's Anthony Rendon. This has to be brought up. We have to bring this up. Yeah. It's a bad look. All right. There are Angels fans and there are just general fans of the sport that will say, look, Anthony Rendon, I like that he did it, whatever. I don't like it. And I don't like it for many reasons. Anthony Rendon, you make $30 million this year. How much is that fan making? That fan has nothing to lose. That's one reason. Okay. The other reason, when I gave my first take on this, my feeling was, what if he gets suspended? Because if he gets suspended, then he's not out there to help his team. He got suspended. Now, it's only 4 games, but let's say the Angels miss out on the postseason by 4 games, or they're 4 games under 500 at the trade deadline, and we look back at maybe these 4 games. Point is, you want to be – this is a crucial season for the Angels, and you don't want to miss games because – and he even said he made a mistake. You don't want to miss games because you let a fan call you a bitch. Dude, you have to have heard worse. In your life on the road, you have to have heard worse. So you cannot react. And my final reason on it, let's say it elevated. It didn't, but let's create the hypothetical situation where that thing elevated and you had a fan fall. You had a fight actually happen. Do you know who was literally right next to him while this was going on? Mike Trout walked past him. Shohei Ohtani was right behind him. If you have a fight break out between Anthony Rendon and 3 or 4 A's fans, and because listen, it was lucky for Anthony Rendon that it was just some guy and his dad. But if it had been a couple of drunk A's fans that were ready to toss it up, and that became a problem, and it spills down onto the track there, and you've got Trout and Ohtani in a fight with Rendon because Rendon's being an idiot and Ohtani breaks his hand. Just saying, we saw it happen in the NBA years ago, the whole Malice at the Palace, where you had fans and the players getting into a fight. It didn't get to that point, but when he grabbed that fan by the shirt,
Yeah.
you didn't know if it would or would not get to that point. So for all of the things, there's literally nothing positive that comes out of that. So I just think bad job. That's one of the bad. That's got to fall under the bad category.
I mean, I think that you're right, Jim. Like, it could have gone to a really escalated place, but I think that this is a big. Maybe I don't know why I'm like arguing for Anthony Rendon. Like, I think he came out and said too, the emotions got the better of him, and that's just
he knows he made a mistake
because look, the emotional intelligence just wasn't there in that moment. It was gone. It was not there. Like, again, you're right. He makes $30 million a year. This is a drunk fan. I mean, we've all had hate comments, but maybe he had a bad night. The emotions were all there. And then he heard this guy call him a bitch. And then he had to go up in the stands. But like, that's one of those practices that I think Anthony needs to, I think he knows it needs to, he's got to address it. He's got to work on.
I'll be honest. I think both of you guys are thinking way too much about this. At the end of the day, it's very simple. You are not allowed to go up to another individual, grab hold of them, and take a swing.
That's fine.
Right.
That's it. You know what I mean? That's literally like, forget all this stuff about, he makes $30 million, Shohei Ohtani's there and his team, blah, blah, blah. I agree with you. That's in the background, and I agree with you too. It's like, like maybe he is having a bad day. Maybe that sucks. But like literally, you're just not allowed to do that.
Yeah,
that's just not allowed. So I
Yep.
totally agree with the people that are coming out on Twitter and saying, well, he's standing up for himself.
No.
I think he should go out and stand up for himself
On the field.
with your hands off of another individual. You can stand up to yourself and you can say something back to him. Then you can get on your way.
Exactly.
The second that you go out and you touch somebody else, you're immediately in the wrong every single time.
But I guarantee if he were to say something back and I was caught on camera, there would be another case for it. I guarantee.
But and then my opinion shifts.
Right.
My opinion is literally when you touch somebody else, I can no longer be on your side. I just can't be on your side anymore because you crossed over that imaginary line. And it's like, actually it's not imaginary, it's the fucking law. You crossed over the law line, it's like, I can't be on your side anymore,
Do you guys have any more good, bad that really stands out? I have one more good one. Do you guys have any more good, bad?
Give us your one more, man.
I have Bryan Reynolds. I want to get back. I don't want to end this on. I don't want to end this on the bad. I want to end this on the good. Bryan Reynolds is out here with 4 home runs, the most in Major League Baseball. This is a big time for him. You wonder about the distractions coming into the season, trying to get a contract negotiation last minute right up to the opening day. And then it's like, okay, we have the dollars figured out, but there's a conceptual issue. Is it an opt-out? Is it an O-trade? Is it whatever? We don't know, but they don't get a deal done. And now he's out here leading the majors in home runs, hitting his 4th home run tonight. So shout out to Bryan Reynolds with his 4 home runs. Also shout out to Xander Bogaerts with 3 home runs. He hit his 3rd home run today for the Padres. Just makes it look effortless. That was one thing Bogey didn't do a lot last year. His power numbers were down.
Yeah.
But so far, we've got 3 home runs from Bogaerts. We also have 3 from Joey Gallo. Little shout out, little applause for Joey Gallo getting it done. So there's a lot of good going. There's certainly some bad. Anthony Rendon may be the one element where it's off the field bad. So I wanted to make sure we have the good here, sort of reigning supreme here for us today. Any other ones, guys?
Couldn't agree more. You know what? A quick shout out too, just to the Baltimore Orioles as a whole, man. I was in their camp the entire offseason. I was saying that lineup is going to be potent. So far, it's pretty damn potent. Their pitching is still a question mark, which I think everybody agreed. And said like this is going to be a problem. But that lineup looks good. They've been bad for a really long time, even though they're in the same division as us. I feel for them. I do feel for them. So I'm happy for Baltimore fans that, you have something to look forward to there. Those young guys in your lineup, they're all studs.
Good and more to that, help is coming. Announced about 20 minutes ago.
Help is coming.
Grayson Rodriguez is coming up. He's starting Wednesday. I don't want to say tomorrow because this may be tomorrow by the time you see it. He will start Wednesday against the Rangers.
I love that.
All right, guys, let's get to let's cut this off for rewatchability standpoint. So everybody who is rewatching this, if you're not with us live right now, then shout out. Thank you so much for tuning in, clicking on the video, watching till this point. But we are going to continue with the live viewers in the chat right now,
Mm-hmm.
just going through a few other storylines. That's why you got to hit the subscribe, smash the like button, and make sure you are here when we are live, folks, because you'll miss out on all this incredible exclusive content. So many stories are breaking. Secrets are being revealed. It's going to be incredible, guys. But thank you so much for tuning in regardless.